Hey, did you try the new arena game mode? If so, then the chances are you are likely part of one of two camps. Either you love what's going on here and you are able to have fun in League of Legends, or you are just really upset that you can't play all Random Earth right now. Well, interestingly enough, these two camps are having a bit of a clash right now, which nobody understands. And that is all while people are entirely missing all kinds of points. And while Riot is secretly teasing that something really cool is coming. And that all comes from one cheeky interview which Dums have had with the developers of Arena. But before we dive into that juicy part, let's quickly have a look at where Arena currently stands. Long story short, in my opinion, this game mode is just in a really good place right now. I mean, it's been less than a week, so that's totally enough time for everyone to agree that Arena is simply great. Right? Well, why don't we have a look at the one place where League of Legends debates are always fair and everyone can be civilized to their fullest potential. Reddit. There, ever since Arena originally hit PBE, there were quite a few posts made about it. And I'm sure all of them are positive. Bravery has made solo Arena miserable. Why Arena is beloved? In my opinion, this is the worst Arena has ever seen. Played 10 games of Arena and I'm yet to have some sort of fun setup. So, we are getting quite a few posts like these, so this begs the question, what do they have in common? Well, somehow, despite this being a subreddit that is infamously in favor of grinding ranked and esports, that is all instead of enjoying games, all of those posts have no likes, but they do have a lot of comments, so there is engagement, it's just that most people disagree with these. In fact, we got some other posts with positive feedback and those are getting thousands of upvotes. So in general, using Reddit as a totally accurate metric, it seems like the majority of the players actually enjoy Arena. With that said, if you don't enjoy it, that's totally fine. It's likely because this game mode is just not for you. And that is all related to one massive point a lot of people are missing. Arena is not supposed to be grinded like a ranked game. And already, Arena went through quite a few changes to support this more and more. For example, in the last video where we talked about Arena, I made an oopsie. I didn't realize that the ranking system was removed. I thought it was still in the game because there is a bug where after you play your first game, you still see the Wood division pop up. But apparently no, the ranking system is just gone. And apparently there is a very specific reason why it was removed. This actually comes out of Dumps' interview with Cadmus, who is the lead designer on the game modes team. Simply said, in the past with the previous versions of Arena, a lot of people played the game mode to achieve a certain rank and after they got it, they just stopped playing. Not only is this what Riot told us, but I know this is the fact because this is what I've done. I got the Gladiator rank and then I was gone. And in theory, what Riot is testing right now is that if you remove the ranking system, it should prolong the overall time that players spend in the game mode. If they purely play for fun and not for a goal that they just made up, they should be able to enjoy the game mode more without it feeling like a grind. In other words, going forward, the team just wants the players to have fun, which is also why they added bravery into the game. And somehow, people who don't understand how to have fun in the game hate it. There was a post where someone was mad that their teammates just keep picking bravery, so the chances are they get a champion they don't know how to play and so they just lose. Which, sure, this post isn't really hostile or anything like that. But again, just have fun. Personally, I keep picking bravery and I keep losing, but I keep having fun with the extra rerolls you get from bravery to get some really stupid augments. And the sad thing is, this kind of mindset just vaporized from League. Most people don't realize that you can have fun in the game without winning, but the game has to support it. For example, this kind of fun would never exist on Summoner's Rift. There, the only fun you can have is through winning. But in Arena, with all the stupid randomness, yeah, it's possible. In fact, this relates to another post where we got a person with some kind of a problem. Why Arena is so popular and beloved by a lot of people. It is just this balanced mode where everyone picking tanks that annoys in normal games and now they are here. with skirmishes or 2 tanks at once. Small maps for this type of game, some of them is poop game designed. Why we have to play this where is all random earth? So we got a person calling this game mode disbalanced, while also bringing up all random earth as an argument. Now first of all, AD carries and mages have a higher win rate than tanks or skirmishers in Arena. But they only have a higher win rate in the hands of good people who know positioning. This is directly a stat that Riot gave us. So you are pointing out something broken, that also has a clear way of how to counter it. But really, who cares? This is a fun game mode. But more importantly, there are more people who don't like the randomness of this game mode. And sure, I understand where this is coming from. If you are playing ranked Summoner's Rift for 6 or more years, suddenly getting something that is totally out of your control must feel weird. But guess what? There is an entire game genre that is based around this idea, called roguelikes. These are the games that are all about you just playing what you are given. Kinda like another game that Riot has that is all about randomness and trying to control it, called TFT, which for a while has hinted at the fact that their player base is actually now bigger than League's. Which is why I would like to ask Riot to do one thing. It would be cool if for like a day you really dialed the roguelikeness up. So what if the entire game was random? What if you couldn't buy items directly and you could only get the tokens which randomly give you one of 3 items? Because right now, when people are mad, they are usually mad at the fact that some people are playing broken champions that rely on specific items. So, what if you just remove that part? What if you just leave it up to chance that they get the perfect item for the perfect champion? Again, on normal Summoner's Rift, this would sound like madness. But for a roguelike enjoyer, this would be really fun to try for like a day. Better yet, if you really want to make the game mode random, just make it so that bravery is the only thing you can pick for like a day. That would be the ultimate bravery on Riot's side. And thankfully, if you go into the comments of all the posts about randomness, those comments usually have more likes than the posts themselves. So I think Riot is onto something there. But here's the thing. The task of trying to show people that you can have fun in League if you just ditch traditional gameplay got further supported in Dumps' exclusive interview. There, when talking about what the team wanted to add to the arena, one of the things they mentioned was custom game support. They wanted to make this happen, but apparently there was something else that was kinda holding them back from this. Specifically, it was something else that is coming up in the pipeline. And here I'm just wondering, what does that really mean? Does that mean that they are working on another game mode of similar size, which might be taking their resources? Or are they implementing another feature that might be clashing with the idea of custom games? Well, possibly Cadmus might be hinting at the fact that there is a bigger, broader update heading to League, which might restructure how custom games work. And if you forced me into making a guess, I think it might be like a bigger version of custom games. I mean, recently Riot finally implemented multiplayer practice tool, which allowed people to have some really stupid fun. So what if this turned out to be successful and now they might be working on a system that allows you to give games custom rules? Maybe they are trying to do what Fortnite did when they turned their game into like a platform for different games. But remember, we are still working in the League of Legends engine, so who knows what's actually possible. And yes, all of this is a massive tinfoil hat theory. Either way, they also mentioned that custom games for Arena are still on the radar, which indirectly also means that this shouldn't be the last run of Arena. And when the opportunity comes, it should be back. After which, we also got 3 teasers as to what is coming from the game modes team next. Now, let's skip the first point for now. You'll see why in a moment. So before that, the team wants to go back and visit their catalog of stuff. Apparently, there is a lot of untapped potential, which to any veteran would mean... I don't know, is Odyssey or Star Guardian coming back? Remember, all of those assets were made for an older version of the engine, but they are still just sitting there. Not to mention some other assets, such as Singularity, so who knows? but they also want to push the capabilities of the engine. Similar to how they did the WASD controls for Swarm, how they got 16 players in Arena, how they used augments, and yes, I mean, again, TFT came out of this engine. Which potentially means just get ready to more different games happening in League of Legends if they can figure it out. But more importantly, let's go back to the first point. There they mentioned that they want to do more experimental ideas and concepts to hit things which previously were not in League, but which people wanted for a while. Now, I don't want to raise any alarms, but since this was said in the context of the devs saving some juicy information for a future update, there is one thing we have wanted for a while, right? Like one thing that has floated around since like 2009 besides just PvE. I mean, that would be a PvE story mode. Now this is perhaps the biggest thing that people wanted to see in League. And yes, this is absolutely a massive tinfoil hat theory. But outside of this, what did the League community want to see which would be something massive? I guess the MMO is not on the table here. I mean, sure, PvE has been talked about for ages. And every time it came out and then went, people just wanted to see it again. But some kind of story mode is something that has never been done. So if it's not that, I wonder what the team might be working on. Which pretty much wraps up today's TED Talk. It's funny how we got to these big teasers from people not being able to have fun in League. But yes, to recap, Arena is rolling, and as it turns out, a big portion of the players really enjoys it. So now it all goes down to the same thing that always weighted down all the other versions of Arena. People play these game modes a lot at the beginning, but then it all slowly falls off. Which is usually because they get all the goals that they wanted to get. But by removing all of these goals, the potential is people are gonna play this version more. But we will not know that until the team gives us another awesome chart with numbers. I always love those. But of course, the most important takeaway from this video is that story mode is possible. I did not think I would be able to say that. But what if we got like a simple game that is like a Lego Star Wars, but it is League story? I'd like that a lot. And I would be really sad because technically Riot Forge died for this.